switch the scene so you guys can see this fantastic game between dogao and TaToH right here. We've got up to the northwest of the map in the blue, TaToH playing as the Vietnamese, and to the northeast of the map, look how close they are, dogao in the red playing as the Vietnamese as well. For the first time, we've actually got a Civ War. I'm really excited to see a Civ War, and I think my co-caster is as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nobody. I will be co-casting with Zach today. Yeah, I'm very excited to see a Civ War. I've never seen a Civ War with any of these Rise of Raja Civs, and you don't truly know a Civ until you actually experience the Civ War. It's a completely different experience than non-mirror Civs.
Yeah, and the Vietnamese to me feel like one of the civs that are certainly the closest to a Age of Empires: The Conqueror's civilization. A lot of these new civs from the Rajas and from the African kingdoms, they try and do something really different. Some of them introduce new game mechanics. Some of them kind of just take it really to an extreme with what they're offering. With the Vietnamese, I feel like they are the closest to an AOC Civ or an AOK Civ, and I kind of feel like both players are going to have a really good match here on Arabia as well, with like just a comfortable civilization for both players, and that's why I'm really excited, because there's going to be some subtle differences, but this is going to feel really nice to cast as well.
Yeah, the thing is with the Vietnamese, they're actually they're a little bit diverse. They get bloodlines, they get cavalier, they get some good knights, they get some good infantry as well, but also they have a strength in their archers. So they have a lot of options available to them. The thing is with the Civ War, you tend to see civs that just really focus on their strengths of their civs. If you see mines, you always see archers. If you see an Aztec war, you always see the 5 militia drush. What will we see in a Vietnamese war? I'm not sure.
Well, you did say that they are a little more versatile, and I certainly agree. The fact they get bloodlines, for example, is a really nice thing. I expect we will see archers, but it's still, there's still options there. You could still see a drush. You could still see a drush fast castle if one player wants to take that route. Either way, I do feel like we will see the archers coming out here because they are great. At the same time, though, like you said, they have got options, and I like what dagao's doing here at the early game. He's trying to be a nuisance, and he's stealing away a sheep from TaToH. I think he was looking for a boar as well, because how early he sent out his scout. If you have a look at his scouting information, yeah, he's basically not even scouted himself. He scouted TaToH more, and that is part of where the Vietnamese bonus comes into play, with the fact that they are able to see the TC starting location at the start of the game.
Yeah, that's one thing that, I would have never thought of. It makes it a lot easier for these players to lane themselves. And you can see TaToH's been heavily hurt by this. He's already had to research Loom, and he has no food under the town center.
Man.
Also, what were you going to say?
I was going to say TaToH here just getting so screwed again. This is like the second time in 2 days that we've seen TaToH have to idle his TC nearly, or like have to do early Loom, or have no food under the town center. He's having some really brutal games, and it's certainly hurting him this tournament. But go ahead with what you were saying before.
Yes, it is. What I was going to say also, revealing the starting town center position, this is a little bit of a weird Arabia. These guys are actually really close together. Now, if you discover that your opponent is really close to you on Arabia, and your opponent doesn't, then that can be like, okay, I'm going to go super aggressive on this guy. I'm just going to do whatever. But since these guys know that they're really close to each other, they're both going to have to go really aggressive here, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think, they know where they are, like you say. So they're going to realize, okay, we're probably going to want to get aggressive early. I'm just interested to see how that's going to happen. We see dogao with 4 vills on wood, and TaToH with only 3. So maybe we'll see the drush from dogao, but not from TaToH. I would also say that dagao's got a decent map for walling as well. If you look at his tree line, it's super closed on the front of his base, and that's nice. Obviously the gold's quite far away, but this is a really big natural wall, and with a bit of walling across the top side, he's got a very safe base, and that's always something that you can rely on as the game goes by. Now, dogao, no barracks just yet, and it would be a little late if he does build it now. Maybe we'll see some man-at-arms, but it could just be a fast feudal into archers even. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Yeah, or a scout rush. Again,
yeah,
they do have
course.
bloodlines. The thing about dogao's map, it's a pretty good map. It's got one glaring weakness, and that weakness is going to be the gold, which is why he's building his barracks forward.
Yeah, and obviously he can easily wall up the top, so having the barracks down here makes a lot of sense as well. Yeah, I think maybe we'll see the Man at Arms play. I'm interested though because, like you said, they could also go for scouts. They do have that Bloodlines upgrade. It's a very interesting Civ. It's nice. TaToH though really off to a bad start, and I'm feeling for him because he's not had any good starts this tournament so far. Even versus Doubt, he got off to an okay start, but then it just quickly fell apart again. The first game he played this tournament, I think it was just immediately. Oh no, he won his. I can't actually remember now. I'm getting so confused because we've seen so many games. But there was a game on Kilimanjaro where TaToH just failed to lure his elephant twice, and it just really fell apart. He's not found his sheep right now. He's pushing in the deer, which is thankfully working out. Maybe he can recover a little bit with that.
Yeah, that's making the best out of a bad situation right now. I feel like he thinks that Dogao's going to be drushing. Is Dogao drushing though? I don't. It looks like he's going to go for men at arms. That's kind of something you want to know.
Yeah, he's up to feudal, so he'll start adding in the militia once he gets the food to queue them. He's also sent 2 villagers to gold, so that's pretty standard for this kind of man at arms kind of rush. I like it a lot, and it used to be my favorite thing, and like a year and a half ago, it didn't used to be that popular. But nowadays, this man at arms play is becoming more and more popular. But the reason why I think we see it so much in this tournament is because of the buff to the militia line. They all get 5 extra HP, and that means that it's a little bit more viable to do this strategy as well.
I don't think they get 5 extra HP. They get
Is it not?
extra attack versus buildings, though. Nope.
Oh, wait, hold on. Am I just getting this
Just
confused
the
with
long
the?
swordsman.
Am I getting confused with the numerous balance patches
Carlos.
that are out there?
Wait, no, that's extra speed. There's so many different balance patches.
Man,
that
it's
hard
confusing.
Hard to understand.
Isn't it one of something somewhere gives militia 5 extra
Either way,
HP?
they are still buffed.
But-
They are still buffed.
okay,
with extra
yeah.
attack versus buildings.
They are, but yeah, they don't have the extra 5 HP. That's incorrect. There are so many versions of balance now. I'm not sure how I feel about it. But I think that's a topic for another time anyway. Because
That's a topic for another
yeah,
time. I'm very passionate about balancing this game, but we'll
sure.
talk about that another time.
dogau's coming forwards with an archery range, 3 villagers, and that's covering the main gold of TaToH. Something we've not talked about really is TaToH's map. He's got a back wood, which is nice, but everything else is to the front, and he's got no natural wall off. He's got no stone in it really. I'd like to see a tower from dogao on this stone. He could really mess TaToH up if he goes for some towers to support this rush. TaToH really not getting a map here that he would be happy with in any situation.
Oh, TaToH, I think it's going to go from bad to worse. He's building a stable right now, and he's going to have some militias come in. They're going to deny his stable already.
Yeah, that's huge. Stable, not coming up, and that's going to really delay things for TaToH, whilst at the same time, the Man at Arms upgrade finishes for dogao, and he picks off a villager. Straight away coming in.
Oh.
Spearman going to go down as well, and what can TaToH do here? I mean, I feel like...
This is a disaster.
Yeah, he's going to delete his stable. He could make some Man at Arms of his own, but he's got no access to gold, so that's not going to happen. All he can do right now is make spears and hope he can get his second military building up sometime soon, but he's already lost 2 villagers, I think, and his villagers over here are even feeling the heat now as well.
What he's going to have to do is he's going to have to build skirmishers really heavy and try to outmass his opponent. Now, the thing is, dogao's already got a leg up here.
Yeah, absolutely. dogao just 2 archery ranges now, archer production, and let's not forget the archers for the Vietnamese get an extra 3 HP in the feudal age due to the HP bonus that they get. And these villagers over here are trapped. The archers coming over, they've got to run. Of course, they're gonna die. Surely, I don't think dogao's gonna let these guys escape for free. Oh no.
He's gonna make a run for it though. Here they come.
They're running away, but they've got a hell of a long way to run. Even dogao's villagers getting involved in the fight here. And these villagers slowly but surely being picked off. I think both are going to go down, actually. This is just terrible for TaToH. So early to lose these villagers. And dogao's even going to get back without losing his scout to the TC fire as well. So, wow, dogao's just so far ahead now. And TaToH is just...
Oh.
This
is brutal.
Yeah, it's in shambles.
I mean... Who would have thought at the beginning of the game TaToH would have to place a tower right there next to his wood? His wood is supposed to be safe this game. It's in the back, but no.
Yup, it's supposed to be safe. It certainly isn't though, is it? dogao's so aggressive here and it's working so well. And not only that, TaToH here trying to get his stone. but he can't secure it because it's too far forward, and obviously dogao has his army here. So TaToH's starting to make some skirms. It's a good decision. It will at least counter the archers, but in the meantime, dogao's doing some big damage. TaToH with a second tower. What is that tower, though? I mean, he's got to protect his flank.
Well, it's going to secure him some extra wood if he wants to help protect his farms. Whenever TaToH's backed in a corner, it's always he's going to go back to Tower TaToH. That's his bread and butter.
Yeah, completely agree, and it's not the best strategy. It can work if it's aggressive towers, but when it's defensive towers, it doesn't give you anything valuable later on in the game. dogao with a tower here, and I like this tower. This is a great tower from dogao. It covers the stone, and it will hit some of these farms. So dogao's just closing in and pressuring in. It's like a bit of a boa constrictor from dogao at the moment.
Yeah, every bit of damage that dogao does a little extra. It's just closer to him winning this game, and he's going to take these 3 farmers off. That's huge. I mean, TaToH can't afford to build 3 more farms.
No, he's got no wood, which means that right now he's farming on 4 farms, and he's got 4 villages on berries, and the berries are about to run out. So TaToH's food, it's not going to be very promising in the next couple of minutes, as he's trying to build skirmishes as well at the same time, and his food income has just basically dropped down to nearly nothing.
Yeah, here comes the skirmishes. TaToH's going to go for a counterattack. The thing is, the men-at-arms are in hot pursuit here. And men-at-arms, they're pretty damn good against skirmishers.
Yeah, they are. There we go with dogao with the quick wall as well, so they're not going to be able to break through. TaToH was really hoping to be able to do some damage with these guys, but even, sending 6 skirmishers to try and do damage, it's a real sign of desperation. These guys will not really be able to do a huge amount versus dogao's villagers, especially when the man-at-arms are in hot pursuit as well anyway.
Alright, so where does this leave us in this game? It looks like TaToH's trying to seed up a bunch more farms. I guess he's going to continue off these 2 ranges. Where's dogao going to the next stage?
Well, I've certainly noticed TaToH idling his TC for a bit here. As I said earlier, he wouldn't have the food income to do everything he needs to do. And he certainly can't afford to stop making military. But this could be an interesting fight as TaToH just walks by these archers, loses a skirmisher for free, and then tries to turn it around. He's just running out of units here. I don't think he can fight this. He has to back up.
Well, one of the very important things for skirmishes is get that extra armor on them. Looks like TaToH can't afford it at this point. He doesn't have enough food.
Yeah, exactly. TaToH would really benefit from that, but like we said, food is just being starved from him at the moment. dogao coming north, he's going to scout this gold, and I guess he's going to put a tower there once he sees these villagers taking it. At least, I mean, TaToH managed to get some gold for a while.
Speaking of starving, there's some starving wolves on the bottom. They're hungry for some skirmisher kills. And
yeah,
it just goes from bad to worse for TaToH.
And man-at-arms as well, it seems. I thought I saw one chasing a man-at-arms around for a long time. Yeah, TaToH's not really achieving a lot with this army, and it's all well and good having the numbers and having the army out, but if they're not doing anything, if they're not achieving anything, then they may as well not be there. They need to come back home, I think, and push these archers away. Because TaToH sent this army out, he wasn't able to defend this gold, and as a result, dogao will get a tower there, denying even more resources from TaToH as this game goes by. TaToH's ceding a lot of farms, though, and I don't know, maybe... I mean, it's hard to say. With this many farms, he could potentially throw down a stable in a bit and start making some scouts as well. I think at this stage, he just needs more units. It's as simple as that.
I don't know if that would be worth it because dogao's already completely walled. Once you go into scouts, what happens if your opponent goes into knights? So I think that it looks like TaToH's going to go out, try to take out these towers. I think TaToH's going to try to stick to skirmishers at this point. Hope his opponent doesn't switch it up into knights.
Yeah, that's the problem when you just go all out into skirms. It's so easy to counter, really. dogao should have, in theory, the faster castle time. My problem is with TaToH's map and his situation right now, I feel like it's too risky to go to the castle age here. He's still not got access to safe access to resources. He's just about grabbing the stone on the front, and he's moving now towards this gold, taking the time to wall up the archery ranges and all that good stuff, but it might be a little risky to go castle. I don't think he feels safe enough to do that, and it's going to take him a while to get there as well anyway.
Well, we're seeing TaToH coming forward. If he can wall these archery ranges, then that can really put him ahead. I think if he does that, he'll have the knowledge that that his opponent will have to switch it up into knights. So maybe he can prepare for that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he would be able to prepare, that's for sure. But at the same time, dogao he's splitting his army up. He's raiding this stone mine now with these archers. He has got the +1 defense on the archers as well, which is nice. And over on the left side, it looks like he's going to lose the range. He's going to squeeze out as many archers as he can before they go down. I'd call that a little victory for TaToH there, but at the same time, he's losing vills over on the stone. It's messy.
It's very messy to say the least.
Super
Jeez.
messy. But okay, maybe this is how TaToH brings himself back into this game, though. I mean, walling up the 2 archery ranges, that's quite a big loss for dogao there. You know, all that wood is basically now, well, useless. He can't use the ranges. He has to build more buildings. But like you said, he can see that TaToH's gone 100% into skirms. Will the next building from dogao be as stable? I think it's likely. And at the same time, there's no way for TaToH to really counterattack either.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, dogao's made a decision here. He's decided not to make skirmishers, and because of that, his ranges are getting walled up, and it seems like TaToH has an army advantage. However, dogao's going up with 2 stables at his base, and he's just going to hit him hard with knights. Yeah. Now, TaToH knows this has to be coming. He knows dogao knows this. So, TaToH's response is to go forward with a tower? Okay.
He knows dogao knows, that's right, and... Yeah, I mean, the ranges will continue to be walled up, but I think this is dogao's game right now. I think this is where dogao has won, because TaToH will not be clicking to the Castle Age for some time. Dogao's going to be able to keep access to his gold, which is fine, and as soon as he gets castle, it's going to be brutal. Those knights will just destroy TaToH. There's no way he can defend that. He's way too open, he's got no walls, it's just not safe. Oh, and TaToH losing some villages on the front as well, just to add insult to injury here. Oof. Bad news.
Oh. Well, TaToH's going to try to get through these walls here. He should be able to, but once he does, he's going to have some knights in a siege workshop to greet him, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, even if he does break in here, how much damage can he do before dogao gets his first knights out and sends him away? I think the answer is really not much. Let's not forget as well, dogao has got a few archers left. I don't know if it's worth upgrading them to crossbow, but it could be really worthwhile to use them to raid whilst he uses the knights at the same time to kill the skirms. The whole army for TaToH is away from home right now, and TaToH should be clicking castle fairly soon, but dogao is already up. So it's a big difference right here, and dogao now throwing out the knights. Of course, this is an elimination game, so whoever loses this game will be eliminated from the tournament, and dogao is certainly, TaToH is certainly not going to be resigning until it is well and truly over, though it really doesn't look good for him right now.
Well, here comes TaToH with another tower. If he can get this tower up, it can delay a bit of the gold of dogao, hopefully slow these knights.
He won't get the castle, the tower. I don't think he'll get the tower. Oh, the quick wall, though. The quick wall. Oh, the quick wall. He's going to get the quick wall. And the knights are denied. Nicely done. TaToH with the tower.
Oh, there you go. Small victory for TaToH.
Well, I guess the small victories matter, but I don't know if it's enough all in all, to be honest. The knights now pushing out.
Just take out one knight. I want to see them take out just a single knight. I don't think it's going to happen.
Is it going to happen? No, they'll get one. They'll get one, I think. No, they're not going to get any because TaToH, well, TaToH's going to resign.
TaToH's GG, yeah.
It was a close one. Sad game for TaToH there, but dogao, really dominant. He,
man.
I think, again...
And that early game for TaToH, it messed him up so much. Not being able to get those walls up. I mean, it's just small things like that.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly the same. I think TaToH's just been screwed over by a bad start too many times. And, yeah, dogao messing with him, stealing his sheep at the start. I mean, to be fair, that was just good play from dogao there. Because TaToH
TaToH has the same vision.
Yeah.
So he could have done the same, but...
The thing is, TaToH didn't fail his start because of himself. He failed it because dogao went to his side of the map, stole a couple of sheep, and then TaToH didn't have the food, and then he was late to lure the boar because of that. So he had to take the boar early, and it messed him up completely. Really goes to show how important the early game is, guys. And dogao with a much easier wall as well, but that's certainly helped by the fact that he was aggressive with the man at arms and the militia, because that put the pressure onto TaToH straight away and allowed dogao the time to wall up. And I'm sure if TaToH had enough time, he would have figured out how to wall his map, but it was certainly a very horrible map for walling as well.
Yeah, yes, it was. Those men at arms were really, really effective. I love seeing effective men at arms play. It's one of my favorite things to see.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They do really have the. They do really have. Sorry, I was getting a bit distracted. They do really have the opportunity to do a lot of damage. It's just rarely that we get to see the damage come in, because a lot of the time they're countered very easily by walls, or, they just aren't able to have the impact that the players would like. Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So we're going to throw it over to Numpford very soon. We'll take a quick look at the achievements. As we can see, units killed and lost was fairly close, but this is the similar story in a lot of these games we've cast today. The KD ratio, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day when one player has a much larger economy and they can afford to lose the units. A lot of the time it's worth even losing units if it means that you're getting the map control or something along those lines. And that's what we saw from dogao there.
Yeah, the thing is about Age of Empires, it's so macro-oriented. Even if you don't lose a unit, but your economy is delayed, or you have to, seed extra farms or something along those lines, or take extra stone, that's damage in itself. It doesn't have to be unit kills.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to throw it across to Nilpford right now. He's going to take it away with the analysis.
We have to say, to get Arabia against dogao, probably very unfortunate to begin with. And yeah, there are so many better maps for him in the map pool. But he had to live with it and try to make the best out of it, I assume. And we will show the early feudal age and how poorly it went for TaToH. But as this guy said before, even before that, it went pretty horrible for him. Let's take a look at his first boar lure. The boar was super late. He didn't find his two boars for such a long time. Look at this, how scrappy the villagers are walking. And he has to garrison, ungarrison several times. And yeah, after that we jump roughly half a minute later. Look at the population. TaToH was searching for the second boar, and then she's, oh god, I'm pop 15 out of 15. Unfortunate for him there. And he still didn't find his 7th and 8th sheep and his other boars. So that was just very bad. And let's see how it goes from here now. Let's take a look at the exploration from TaToH. We can see big forward, we can see M&A, we can see 2 villagers on gold, but what does TaToH see? Nothing. Not the gold, not the militia, not the forward. It's simply that he's building the stable and trying to set up everything, but that was unfortunate. Then the first villager went pretty poorly, and now this one is getting a weird pathing as well. Look at this, how he's running back at the same time she at the front is dying, and suddenly we are down 2 villagers without any real mistake of TaToH there. Maybe he fought a bit for too long, but he simply didn't have the intel, and now it's 2 villagers dead. And what's your typical reaction when you're 2 villagers down? Exactly, you try to play the best as you can. But what does TaToH do? Okay, let's just keep a bit of chatting on and complain a bit. And yeah, I think that was just too late that he moved the villagers. Again, very unfortunate pathfinding by him here. Those 2 villagers running around. Now the archer is putting on so much more pressure. He still didn't see the forward archery ranges. And those 2 villagers, as unfortunate as it is, both go down. And basically it's over here. Pop 28 compared to pop 34 now. 2 archery ranges are up. No, not on gold. Only a bit long distance mining on stone. And yeah, the game was over from here. TaToH did try some sweet moves. Let me delete those two.